Coach K is going extremely viral right now for the flowers that he gave Caitlin Clark on this interview here.
Praise from some people means more than it does from others. And I think when it comes to basketball, Coach K certainly falls into that category. Obviously, Mike Krzyzewski, legendary Duke coach, also was the coach of Team USA, the United States.
The basketball community was taken aback when the well-known Duke coach, who has 5 titles and 42 years of experience, publicly criticized Caitlin Clark and the WNBA.
This is praise for Caitlin Clark, really. Talking about, not making the Olympic team for her, talking about her game in general, her WNBA season in general, and then some of the attributes that he admires.
K's comments at the Richmond Forum provoked a contentious debate regarding the forces opposing the biggest player in the game as he was enjoying retirement coaching. It's a simple question. Why would a Hall of Fame coach feel compelled to stand up for a rookie? Your perspective on the entire dispute may change as a result of the response.
You're going to be one of the leaders to help millions of young girls realize their dreams, not just in sport, but you can too. Does not just mean sport. You can too means in everything. And what I told my wife yesterday about talking to a great player that I would enjoy it, I have to confess I was wrong. It was fabulous talking to a great player. You made my day. You know what? You are so real. I would have loved to have coached you. And you're not afraid. You're not afraid. And God bless you. I've really enjoyed it, and I'll be pulling for you the whole season. Stay healthy and stay.
Let's look back for a moment. The rationale for Caitlin's criticism. Why do Clark's fans cling on compliments from reputable basketball experts like Coach K? Is because Caitlin is objectively. In addition to having a fantastic WNBA first season, Clark redefined what a rookie might accomplish. Her numbers are unquestionable. With 19.2 points and 8.4 assists per game, she was immediately among the league's most effective offensive weapons. Her impact, though, transcends numbers. The Indiana Fever were a team that barely made a dent on ticket sales and struggled with media attention before Caitlin. But when she got there, everything had entirely changed, with the venue setting a new record for TV ratings and the top jersey by a wide margin.
Yeah, well, she's terrific. I have a Sirius XM show that I have for 20 years, and when she was a senior at Iowa, I had her on my show. And it's on radio, on podcasts.
To put that into perspective, several of her games drew larger audiences than concurrently televised NBA games. That is absurd. The WNBA was altered just by her appearance. She attracted more than just new admirers. Everywhere Caitlin travels, she makes the league well known. She consistently silenced those who questioned her ability to bear the limelight. Everyone thought that she would take Unrivaled's rapid $1 million offer to play in their new league, put in a few months of labor, and receive an easy payment with no conditions. She declined it, though, because she is more concerned with the long term than the short term. Rather, she decided to take a break, refocus, and remain focused on the WNBA, where she will improve the game for everyone, not just herself. You can learn all you need to know about Caitlin from that choice.
And she'll make everybody better. And what I was amazed with at how she's handled all the defenses, and then when she got into the WNBA, some of the negativity that was out there, or jealousies. And I think she's just been remarkable. Just remarkable. She's a really good basketball player.
Yeah, absolutely. Future forum guest. We'll pass that on to her.
I'll tell you what, on my show.
She is incredibly professional and poised, especially considering that she has been the target of unwarranted criticism from the beginning. The media made fun of the idea that she could live up to the anticipation before she even set foot on a WNBA court, and the detractors had their thoughts set in stone. Fans reacted enthusiastically after she took the initiative. You would assume that everyone would rejoice when she won Time Athlete of the Year. Her freshman season wasn't merely historic on paper, though. It was a cultural occasion. Headlines were dominated by her name. The WNBA abruptly entered the mainstream sports discourse when her game set attendance records. Instead, the narrative shifted, with some former players, media pundits, and insiders suddenly attacking her rather than recognizing her achievements. There were personal allegations that she was being given special treatment due to her color, and the hatred was not about what she did but more about who was being disregarded. Let's examine what she achieved, though. She managed to propel one of the poorest clubs in the league to the postseason. She broke records. Over the course of the season, she improved steadily. Throughout it all, she defended other players from abuse, and she was named Rookie of the Year. Since there are so many exceptional players, teams, and wonderful stories that can be published and celebrated, the best thing we can do is to continue promoting this league in a very positive manner. This, in my opinion, is what turned me into a fan of this league. Were these people the targets of legitimate attacks, or were they merely trivial? The problem is that it hasn't stopped. Every time she on the court, the argument rekindles the analysis of every pass, shot, and foul. Some claim that's simply the price of being famous. Indeed, all outstanding players receive criticism to some degree. However, something is off here. This seems intimate. It goes beyond basketball. It concerns what she stands for. Not everyone is simply rejecting Caitlin. The player, Clark. The phenomena Caitlin Clark is being rejected. Coach K enters the picture at this point. Having coached some of the best basketball players in history, he has 5 national titles under his belt and 42 years of coaching expertise. He is aware of what brilliance looks like. Additionally, he did more than merely recognize Caitlin Clark's talent. He complimented her in ways that ought to completely silence her detractors. She was excellent, and since passing is the finest thing she does, it would be simple to improve upon her. She has an excellent sense of the game and is a fantastic passer. Consider that. A coach who has worked with some of the best players of the last 20 years, including Jason Tatum, R.J. Barrett, Zion Williamson, and others, isn't discussing Caitlin's shooting. Her deep threes and scoring prowess aren't impressing him. He is concentrating on her passing because outstanding athletes improve their teammates in addition to their own stats. And that's precisely what Caitlin Clark does. However, he went beyond complimenting her abilities. And I was astounded by the way she overcame every obstacle. As Caitlin Clark draws out stadiums, the magic word and the source of a lot of the anger and jealousy surfaced, along with some of the ugliness that was prevalent when she joined the WNBA. The veterans who worked in abandoned arenas for years. The athletes who never get national advertisements, media attention, or footwear deals. Although Caitlin makes headlines, the real focus is not on her gait or even her attitude, but rather on power, who gets the credit, and who determines the WNBA's future. You have to think about Caitlin Clark's influence if you want to understand why the WNBA has been so hostile toward her. There is more to Caitlin Clark's climb than merely breaking records and getting recognition. The goal is to fundamentally alter the WNBA's cultural and economic development. First off, the WNBA recently signed its biggest TV contract ever, for $2.2 billion over 11 years, or $200 million a year, a $140 million increase over the existing agreement. The league's largest event in decades is this one. Players in the WNBA have fought for more funding, better resources, and higher pay. And at last, they are getting it. And that's only the start. The Indiana Fever's wider financial impact is followed by sponsorship, higher merchandise sales revenue, extraordinarily high attendance, breaking attendance records every night, and rising ticket sales each time Caitlin takes the court. The most startling figure of all is that Caitlin Clark is responsible for about 27% of the NBA's overall economic output. Go over that again. Over 25% of the league's economic activity is controlled by a rookie. This is revolutionary. A squad that was barely noticeable before Caitlin now draws an average of more than 17,000 spectators per game, which is NBA-level attendance. The WNBA has been losing money every season for years, despite the old guard's desire to take credit for the league's growth. If the NBA hadn't been funding the WNBA for the preceding 30 years, the league wouldn't even exist today. This is the exact reason Caitlin Clark is so important. Indeed, the league continues to lose money. It recorded a $40 million loss in 2024. However, the issue is that sum would have been significantly higher in the absence of Caitlin. The WNBA and its players are now prepared to make money. The players are now renegotiating their collective bargaining agreement, and we have already talked about the new media rights deal that is locked in. WNBA players receive only approximately 9% of the league's earnings, thus everyone will be paid more. Players won't have to go overseas in order to make genuine money. They'll have more rest and recuperation. Additionally, a better encore product is hoped for. To put it another way, the WNBA gains monetarily from Caitlin's extraordinary popularity. The The league's broadcast value jumps every time she sells out an arena and her game attracts millions of viewers, offsetting the $40 million loss. This season may be the one that ultimately changes the course of events.